Hello everybody, welcome to the third episode of the Findability Tips with
Woo.
Heather and
Natalie.
How are ya? Today we're going to talk about, keyword
Keywords.
research.
Yeah.
And why do we care?
Sure. Well, I think it's really important to kind of frame what the heck's a keyword
Yeah, that's a
and
good point.
why does it matter. So, when it comes to internet marketing, it's all about keywords. We say this day in and day out, but at the end of the day,
Right.
if you don't have a good keyword, your internet marketing is no good.
Well, and really the longer the keyword phrase, the more valuable it is from a marketing standpoint.
Sure. I actually always really like your Starbucks example.
Oh, right.
About your Starbucks coffee order. So think about when you go to Starbucks, what do you order? Do you order a coffee?
No, the guy behind me who likes to annoy the barista
Yeah,
orders
well,
a
maybe that
coffee.
guy. Yeah.
Like my husband loves to just order coffee.
Yeah.
But I order a venti, non-fat, hazelnut latte
Sure.
with Splenda or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's a great. What's your coffee order?
Well, actually, I'm always split, but, on a regular need a lot of caffeine day, what I actually like is a venti house drip with room for cream.
Okay, and if you think about all the different varieties of coffee orders,
Yeah.
and I think if you think of if you think of this search bar right here as a coffee order, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the longer the search query, really, the more personalized and self-identified I am as a person in what I put into the search bar.
Oh, absolutely. Well, just think about the guy at the coffee bar. If you go up and order a coffee, they are immediately going to ask you more specific questions. Do you want this type of coffee? Do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want this? Do you want that?
Right.
And that's very similar to a Google search where you might type in a word like coffee and all the results you get back are totally worthless for what you're looking for.
Right.
So you start adding in extra strings to really get closer and closer to what you're looking for.
If you pay
Very
attention
similar.
to your own behavior already, you're already doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the trick is, if you start out coffee,
Mhm.
it's going to be a ridiculous amount of money, huge amount of competition,
Yeah.
and you're not really going to get the results you need at
Right.
coffee. But if you can market to me at venti, non-fat, hazelnut latte,
Yeah.
you got me,
Right.
right? You
Well-
spoke to me.
Absolutely. Well, I think this is the big part about what we're talking today is I know how I search, but I don't care how I search. I want to know how my customers are searching.
Right.
So that's when it's really important to start looking into something like keyword tools.
Well, and one of the keyword tools we use a lot at Findability Group is the Google Keyword Tool.
Yeah.
And the only way to find that is really just type in Google Keyword Tool in Google.
Yeah, we can give you the huge URL, but it's like 60 characters.
They make it really difficult to find,
Yeah.
and probably for good reason, because
Sure.
they really don't want clients to have that kind of competitive intelligence.
Yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, this is the same tool that's inside a Google AdWords account.
Yeah,
But this is the external tool.
sure.
So, and I think the interesting thing about this is that you can put any keyword phrase in that tool,
Yeah.
and not only see how much search volume is under that keyword, like hazelnut extra large latte,
Right.
but you can also see all the other coffee orders that are similar to mine,
Yeah.
and it also will tell you, should I write my blog post with that keyword? Should I
Sure.
write my press release with that keyword? And I
Right.
think that's really the bigger thing, is that if I'm going to go to efforts for marketing,
Yeah.
and I want Google to see it and pick it up and rank it under a keyword, I better be smart about the intelligence I'm using
Absolutely.
in titling press releases. What else would we use that for?
Oh, we would use it for everything, for optimizing content on the website, for blogging, for tweeting.
Right,
If
right.
people are searching it in Google, they're probably searching it in search.twitter.com. I think a lot of people don't realize that social media platforms are actually being used as search engines.
Right.
And if you were looking at statistics where they added in those platforms as a search engine, you would actually see a much different list of what the search engines are. You would see Google as number 1 with 80%. You would see YouTube as number 2. You would see Yahoo as 3, Bing as 4, and then actually you would see Facebook as 5 and Twitter as 6.
Wow.
So
really thinking about social media and using keyword tools to make sure all of your efforts are keyword rich.
absolutely.
But don't be just televisions or coffee, right?
Right.
You need to speak to my Starbucks order.
Right.
And you have a huge list of all the Starbucks coffee orders for your business.
Right. Well, here's some things to think about when you're using the tool, because it can be a little daunting the first time you take a look at it. You'll see a lot of different options for columns, a lot of different options of data. You're going to see hundreds of words populating. What Google does is they look at the term that you put in, and the first thing they give you is how much search volume that particular keyword has. So if I put in venti large coffee, the first thing I would see is how much search volume is under that exact keyword.
Right.
And then you're going to start seeing a huge list of what Google thinks other keywords that are similar to venti large coffee are. And they're going
Right.
to really populate those out. what the first thing you're going to do when you see all of this data is kind of take a look at the columns that they're giving you. The first column is advertiser competition. That's a really important column to pay attention to.
Right.
It's basically a green bar, and the more filled in that green bar is, the more competitive it is.
That's Google's idea of helpful.
Yeah. Well, you know, and
sort of, kind of helpful, right?
That's really helpful, especially kind of in that do-it-yourself model, is looking for a keyword that has some search volume, but doesn't have too much competition, so that it's easier to get blogs to rank when you're starting out.
Well, if you're interested, Chapter 6 of the Findability Formula, if you already have it, covers this in great detail.
Yeah.
So that might be helpful as well to talk about this. But
Sure.
Check out the Google Keyword Tool. Fantastic keyword, kind of like opening up the hood on Google and telling you everything your customers do.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time on the Findability Tip.
Have fun.